Now I have had this old Swiss military bag for quite a long time. When I got it, it wasn't in particularly good condition. And I've just come back to it. And you can see that the leather's been sort of attacked in some way, I don't know what. It's really hard and stiff and dry, and it's got light, and the strap is really sort of stiff. I don't plan to take it apart, but I do plan to give it a really good clean and then try a number of different things to oil up the leather and try and make it a bit more supple and give it a bit more life, and we'll see how it goes. So the first thing I'm doing is giving it a good clean with saddle soap. Saddle soap is a product that people who are in the horse trade will know a lot about. It's used to clean the tack and saddles of horses, and it has a sort of an effect also of oiling at the same time, but it tends, I think, when you've taken off the dirt, to leave the Now on the front of the bag you can see this little stamp, which is the cross of Switzerland and Schweiz, and also you can see that the leather in this close-up has got something that's been attacking it in some way. I've never seen anything like that. And most of these military bags have this stamped just under the flap on the front. And then on the reverse, you'll see, coming up in a second, that the maker also puts his name, and that there's something like Wilhelsch, and it's from a place called Zollbruck, and the number 35. And the number 35 is the year that it was made. So this bag was made in 1935, and in fact it's one of the oldest I've seen anywhere online. Quite unusual to see bags of this age. And once again you can see the leather there. Obviously there's quite a lot of sort of marking and scratching, but you can see that in some way it's broken down or it's been attacked by something. I don't know, maybe you do know. If you know what that is on the front and back and what has caused that damage to the leather, please leave me a comment. I'd be interested to know for future reference. And also if you know how to get that off, because as you'll see, the saddle soap wasn't effective in changing that, and it was very, very difficult to deal with. So basically I just carried on and gave several coats of going over a really good sort of clean, and the amount of dirt that came off this bag was just astonishing. And I got inside as well, and you see these little pen holders, which are quite sweet. Inside there I have space for 3 pens, and I got right down inside and gave the interior of the bag a really good clean as well. And then I went to work on the strap, and the strap was just so dry. It had no flexibility whatsoever. These are time-lapse photographs, so it doesn't really show just how much time I spent. You can see how much dirt's coming off onto that towel, and I just spent quite a lot of time working the leather back and forth with the saddle soap, working around the clasp and the little keepers, and just really trying to get most of the dirt and the age out of this bag. And then eventually when it was done I left it to dry, and then sort of try to work it a little bit. The liquid going into it had helped quite a bit. And then I got a German oil which I got locally to me. Very difficult to find the right kind of things where I live, and I started to apply this oil. I wanted foot sneak oil, but I couldn't find it here, and the guys at the local saddlery gave me this stuff and said it was pretty much the same. I'm not sure it is though. It's darkened the leather a fair bit, and I'm hoping just in a bit of time, maybe the next few weeks after I finish this process, it will lighten up. So I gave the whole bag a really good oiling, and once I'd gone over it, I went back over and gave it a second coat of oil and really oiled the straps up, and they began to really come loose and started to have some flexibility. So what I was doing was obviously working quite well. And I was just really sort of getting into the sides as well as the tops, getting in everywhere that I possibly could get some oil into this bag. Quite hard work working on this thing, and then as you see, here's another coat going on just to really soak that leather in every aspect. And then once I finished, I just propped it up and propped it open to try and give the bag a bit more square shape. Came back the next day when it was all dry, gave it a polish first, and then applied a coat of specialist wax, a wax polish, to give it a sort of a protective coating. And again, then I worked on the clasps and all the metalwork, which were in surprisingly good condition, funnily enough, for a bag of this age. I'm not sure what they were made of, but my guess would be some kind of good quality stainless steel, because none of them were rusted, and they were in pretty good nick all round. As you can see, they've got quite a nice bit of shine to it. And then once that had all soaked in and dried off, I started buffing up the bag with a soft cloth. And rather disappointingly, I couldn't really get much of a shine out of it. I don't really understand why, because the products I've used should have given it a shine, but it never really got a shine. It stayed, I thought, quite dull. And again, maybe you've got some ideas. I tried it with a horsehair brush, gave it a really vigorous kind of brush there. But in the end, it is what it is. Here you can see how lovely and supple those straps have become. And that was really where I ended. Quite pleased with the end result. I think it'll lighten up over time, but it obviously looks in a lot better condition than when I started. It's squared up a little bit more. The little flap at the back there, by the way, I think is used to attach it to a belt. I think it's designed to put onto a belt and clip it underneath, rather than just hold it over your thing. And there's the 3 holders, and you can see it's got a nice bend to it, nice and supple. So all in all, my first project on renovating a piece of leather. I'm quite pleased with that. If you've got any tips or clues or advice for me, please do. This is how we started, and this is how we ended up. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe if you wish.